Another day, another chance, another dash. Today I'll be discussing to you all about, just a continuation of my blog posts. So it's like chapter 13 relating posts collections with the users collections. So currently we have not linked users with their posts together. We'll now link the users and posts collections together in models blog post.js. Change username to user ID with an object. So that's yeah. So that's pretty much what we're dealing with now. Right. So yeah. Hold on. Let me just debug my front end. Right. So currently we have not linked users with the post together. We'll now link the users and posts collections together. So in models blog post.js, we'll change username to user ID with an object. So const blog post schema, new schema, tell string body string user ID, type mongoose.schema types.object ID ref user, require true date posted, type date, default new date, image string, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much what we're doing. So user ID contains an object, properties, type ref, and required. So in type, we specify mongoose.schema types, object ID, which means that the value is supposed to be a valid MongoDB object ID, as mentioned previously. So Mongo has a specified ID for each document, and they have to be in the valid format. So in ref, we specify user to refer to the user collection which the document is contained. So, so next install post.js, add the following line. So that's pretty much we have the following line. General. So yeah, the model that exports parameters equal to or greater than let image, right? So that's pretty much we have. So image.mv path, resolve direct name public image.name async error. Once we have more, so yeah, let image.mv. If error comes up, error, so return rest of status 500.send. Internal server error, then ensure user ID is retrieved from the session. So const user ID equals request session.user ID. Try then await. Then yeah, so that's pretty much what we have here. So yeah, so that is we assign user ID as requested session dot user ID. So remember the requested session that user ID is populated within the logged in user ID and logged in user.js when a user logs in. So when you run your app, log in and submit a blog post, the post document have the user ID field populated. So let's say, for example, you say summer note, then yes, then getting started. Choose a file. Then yes. So let's go over to our so as you can see, you got object. So yeah, okay. Let's go over to my users blog posts. Then you got object ID, user ID. So as you can see here, we got my user ID here. So yeah. So first, as you can see here, we got our user ID. So object ID 69, Alt E, Alt F, so on and so forth. So as you can see, we got this here, servers. So yeah, it's pretty much our object ID, right? And then you got images 13, images .jpg, so on and so forth. So as you can see here, the object ID that was being specified is there. That is, we assign user ID as request session.user ID. So remember that this is populated with the login user ID and login user when a user logs in. So when you run your app, log in and submit a blog post document, have the user field populate. However, the username now doesn't show up in the posted by in the blog post. That's because you have replaced username with user ID. So let's go over there now. So yeah, so that's pretty much what you've got. So display posts with user data. So our post collection is now linked to the user's collection. Each post stores a reference to the user ID, create a post. So the user ID will then populate the post with the user data. So in controllers home.js, we'll call the populate user ID method of schema.find as shown. So as you can see, we've got a blog posts, right? Then blog post that find, populate user ID. So blog post that find automatic, automatically references the specified document with the user ID in the collection. So now in views index.ejs under posted by make the following change. So blog post user ID dot username. So as you can see here, the parameter, so as you can see here, a parameter I, blog post parameter I, right? Then user ID dot username. So that's pretty much the reference that you make. So when you run your app, you might get an error because some of your old blog posts not yet have the username field because the user ID request session code wasn't yet in place. So in this case, you might need to drop the entire blog post collection or DB campus community by clicking on the dustbin icon. A pop-up will appear asking you to confirm the deletion by typing in the collection name, so on and so forth. So as you saw there in my server HTTP uh, HTTP, so on and so forth. So as you can see here, type error, then you got us, then you got that, then you pretty much got these, right? So cannot read properties of undefined reading username. So at eval, at posts, try handle cache, exports that render file, view that render, try render, function that render, server response that render, so on and so forth. So as you can see here, we've got an error because my old blog posts they don't have a user ID, whereas this one here has one. So getting started, right? So yeah, just getting started at the end of the day. So that's pretty much what we've got here. Summer note getting started, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much what we've got, and then yeah. So when you do so, the collection will be deleted. Now submit a new blog post. When you go to the home page, the username will be populated. We have to simply change. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we've got here. So we probably we have to do simply change in the visual blog post page. Go to controllers, get posts, and then you can do populate user ID, and then post.ejs change to blog post user ID username to have the username appear. So in this chapter we linked our users and posts collection together with the schema that find.populate method which references the document in the specified collection. So that's pretty much what we have here. And yeah, and then you're gonna go over to my index, same as before, let me debug this thing, man. Let me debug this. Now, so you could go variable require express, require mongoose, right? So you need to require those. So const express equals require express const mongoose equals require mongoose. So you got a variable, so requiring these, then mongoose that connect, Actually, let me use ChatGPT for this one. Yes, Savas, sorry about that, man. Let me just use ChatGPT for this one, man. Come on. So please, ChatGPT, GPT-5, please add comments to this code, and then yeah. So that's pretty much what we have. As you can see here, of undefined reading username. So, come on now. So that's pretty much what we have. And then to import modules, then connect to our server, connect to MongoDB, replacements for the booleans, then catch like a confirmation or called back for resolution, and then constant log MongoDB connected, and then catch callback to execute when the prompt is rejected, and then MongoDB connected, and then MongoDB connection error. So that's pretty much what you're dealing with here. So initialize express app. So const app equals new express. Const EJS equals require EJS. So template engine for rendering HTML. And then you got a variable resource usage require process. Then node.js process info not used in the snippet. So import middleware, right? So const file upload equals require express upload. So middleware for handling file uploads, right? Custom middleware to validate post data. Express session equals require. Middleware for session management. Authorized middleware equals require. So this protects routes requiring logins. And then your const redirect if authentication middleware require. So you're requiring these paths, the app paths that we have for our apps, requiring them. But due to us making use of EJS, which is very flexible, we don't have to specify the direct names of the path because it's pretty much not a static app that we're using. It's pretty much like, it's very flexible. It's like flex fuel. A car that's pretty much making use of flex fuel. Use anything. Redirect logged in users from auth pages and then nowhere for flash pages. So app configuration app that set view engine EJS. So that sets EJS template engine global variable to track logged in user. Global that logged in equals null. And then nowhere setup. Right, so that's what it is. Serve static files from public folder. Sorry, now. Sorry, I'm confused now. With how come it's taking some time here. Files from public folder. Parse incoming. Middleware for session management protects routes requiring login. Middleware for flash messages. And then then you got the applications. And then that's pretty much what we've got here. And then your import controllers. So our controllers, we're importing them. Our routes, importing them. And then you got a response, get response, post response, use response, so on and so forth for page. Catch all unmatched routes. That's pretty much what we have here. yeah, it's pretty much what we've got. So as you can see, you got debug there. Oh, a new user. This thing just like okay, okay, no problem. Okay, and then that's pretty much what that's pretty much what we have here. Then new posts, right? New posts, so on and so forth, and then log out. You know, so that's pretty much what we have here. Then summer node getting started. You know what I mean? Summer node getting started. Posted by on Saturday, November 22, 2025. And then yeah, that's pretty much what we've got here. Yeah, I mean, what else do you need? You know, I don't know what else you're gonna need, man. That's pretty much what we had to go over. Yeah, just use ID, username. So yeah, MongoDB Compass. So user ID, right? So that's what we're adding. So it's just gonna merge, the username with the rest of everything else, and then yeah, that's what we got. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what we have, man. Is there anything else that you want to elaborate on, Savas? No, right? No problem. Thank you very much, everyone, including my navigator, for watching this lesson. Take care, Lord bless, and I'll see you for chapter 14. Thanks.